Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends to go over a video about ARMIGER, an uncommon that does damage based off of enemy max HP. Let's see how he is. Let's see if he's a spider champion that we all hope he's going to be, right? So I have Royal Guard, I have Cold Heart, and we're going to compare them to those two with comparable damage. So right here we're looking at his total stats of 100 crit, 226 critical damage, 3,000 defense, and 28k health, which at 25k health, we were just a few hundred underneath Zephyr Sniper, and all the spiders kept going after him. They kept just running after him, killing him right away, so it wasn't working out. Now keep in mind, his late arrest is on a 2-turn cooldown. It does damage based on enemy max HP and defense. Cold Heart does damage based off of enemy max HP and attack. Royal Guard, the same. Enemy max HP and attack for Royal Guard. But they're all 4-turn cooldowns. So he's going to do probably half the damage they do because first he's an uncommon and they always want to gimp any kind of uncommon or rare. And because it's on a 2-turn cooldown. So I think it's going to hit twice. It's going to hit, half as hard as they do, but overall, over 4 turns, it's going to hit the same amount of damage-wise. We will see. We'll go over his masteries, and I'll show you his artifacts and all that after we do this run. Let's get into the fun part. I know all you want to see is what can ARMIGER do on Spiders 20? And this is not Spiders 20. What can ARMIGER do on Spiders 20? So here we go. All right, we're going to get into this. Now, we need Zephyr Sniper, of course, to tank and not fail us. She has 3 attempts to counterattack, and as long as she counterattacks 1 time in those 3 attempts, we're good. We're fine. We'll keep her up. But let's look at the damage too. We need to get a defense break. There we go. We're good to go. We don't have a weaken on this team, so we're not going to see huge numbers for 25% more damage. But we are going to see this. So Cold Heart did 1.1 million, and he does 548. So he does exactly half of what, not Cold Heart, Royal Guard. He does exactly half of what Royal Guard did. Royal Guard is on a 4-turn cooldown. He is on a 2-turn cooldown. So over 4 turns, they're doing about the same exact damage. Cold Heart now it hits a lot harder. Now hers is on 4-turn as well, but we've seen Cold Hearts hit for 2 million. Of course, they're going to have a weaken up. You might have Savage gear on. It just depends. We've seen them hit harder. Can this guy hit harder? It's hard to say, and it's hard to do because he has very low stats. Like overall stats, they are very low, so we have to really pump in. His speed is really low right now because, here we go, knock down the turn meter. I have Evil Eye on him, as well as the skill 1 does a decreased turn meter. So every time he hits on a skill 1, he should be decreasing the turn meter, and now he's going to hit again on his skill 2, since it's on a 2-turn cooldown. Come on. That's it, Zephyr. Zephyr Sniper has to, if you haven't watched my guide on how having an uncommon with very little gear at all tank the spider boss and the spiderlings, then go ahead and watch that video. It's very popular. It'll show you how to tank this with she's missing like 4 or 5 pieces of gear to bring her down. It takes no gear to do this. And as long as we get lucky, then she'll keep doing it. Okay, so we should have ARMIGER go next and do his late arrest. There we go. Keep it up, Zephyr. You're doing great. There we go. 525,000. So really, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Over 4 turns, it's the same amount of multipliers or damage, you could say, as a Cold Heart or a Royal Guard. Of course, Royal Guard is area of effect, AoE, much better. But look, we just did a run here with ARMIGER helping out. He did decrease the boss's turn meter on a skill 1, and he did do, regular damage over 4 turns that Cold Heart or Royal Guard does. Now, Cold Heart depletes the turn meter on her skill 3. Royal Guard does AoE. So yes, he's not as good. I think he should do more damage. The game, this company, their mindset is, let's gimp anything that is free. If it's free, let's gimp it. Let's make it weak. If it's uncommon, if it's a rare, let's make it weak. And that's what they do. So it's not consistent with all other games and how they run their rares and uncommons. It's really not. So this guy should hit a little harder. I understand it's on a 2-turn cooldown, and he did considerably well for what he is, but he's got pretty crazy gear on him, and I think he should hit harder overall. He should hit a little bit harder, maybe in the 700, 750,000 range. I would feel comfortable with that, even though it's a 2-turn cooldown. At least then he'd be a little bit more in line with these guys as far as not doing anything extra. That's all it does. Yes, it's on a 2-turn cooldown, but it doesn't do anything extra. So if it was on a 4-turn cooldown like Cold Heart or Royal Guard, then he's doing the same amount of damage. I think he should do a little bit more. I think he needs to be brought up a little bit, but that wasn't too bad, right? That was not too bad. We'll go over his gear now and see what he's got on him. There's going to be maintenance soon. We're about to do the Halloween event, I believe. Let's see what we've got. Armiger. Here we are. So I'm just going to go over the gear I have on him really quick. We've got a lot of crit, a lot of speed as usual. We've got 1 critical damage set. We could bring up his crit damage by 15% if this was a 6-star, 15% more. We've got defense and defense on. Again, I had to bring this up so I could get a little bit more health on him because the spiderlings were going after him first. And then I've got really good necklaces, gear, accuracy, so we can keep his accuracy up. His accuracy is at 206, so we can do the decreased turn meter on the skill 1. And then he's got a little bit of HP, decent defense, the really low speed, 100% to crit, and 226 critical damage. So a little bit less than I believe our 226 compared to, what do we got on Royal Guard? We have 241, which is pretty high on there. And then we have a Cold Heart with, I'm using my wrong mouse. I did get a new mouse that doesn't click, 252. So, and it's easier for her because we only need 70% crit to get those higher numbers. So that's where we're at with him. I think he's pretty good. I don't think that's that bad for this dungeon. Could we bring in multiple of him and do it? I think we could. What am I doing? I was trying out Molly there as well. Could we bring in multiple Armigers in place of a Royal Guard and this Cold Heart? So we don't have to worry about the spider boss too much because we can deplete the turn meter probably from the second hit on one of these Armigers if we make the Armiger faster. Because Cold Heart will go 2 turns before the spider boss goes. The Cold Heart will go 2 full turns at 194 speed. That's pretty fast. She'll go 2 turns and deplete the turn meter of the spider boss before she gets to move at all. And we've got him in here that can do, Terrell can do a hit as well to lower the turn meter on the second turn, and he's fast enough. So really with Terrell, Armiger, 3 Armigers, could we do it? I think we can. I think you could do it because I think she's going to tank the spider boss. Zephyr Sniper is going to tank the spiderlings. I'm sorry. Tank the spiderlings the whole time as long as she, is able to hit that counterattack. And I think 3 of these guys could easily keep the turn meter down on the boss, and they could slowly whittle her down and do as much damage. I really do. Now, do I want to go level up 2 more Armigers? I can't. I can't afford it, guys. I cannot afford to level stuff up in this game anymore. It is far too expensive, and we don't get enough support from the company to do this kind of stuff. It's just silver I don't have anymore. Gems I don't have anymore. I'm tired of spending, $1,000 or more a month just to do things to make videos on. It is crazy. It is too crazy to do stuff in this game for something like an Armiger and these other champions. Come on, counterattack. Whew. If she didn't do that, we would have been out of it. It just costs too much. It costs too much, and we really don't get enough support from this company, Polarium, to be able to do the things that we want to do in here compared to other companies. I've got a lot of other games I'm playing right now. I'm also playing Epic 7. I'm also playing Dragon's Champion, if you haven't seen. So those companies are more than happy to help out with so many resources. It's not even funny. So I don't know. We'll just have to see. We will have to see what is going to happen with the game, with the Halloween event and everything else. But back to Armiger. Those are a whole nother issues. Back to Armiger. What do I think? I think he's a pretty decent uncommon. I don't think he's that bad. I think he does hit a lot less, and if you just saw that one hit and didn't take into context that it's a 2-turn cooldown and that you're facing off against a 4-turn cooldown, even though their 4-turn cooldowns are amazing, we've got Royal Guard that will AoE everybody down for that much damage. Oh, she's done. She's done. That's it. We don't have any more. Oh, whew. She was fast enough to take a turn. I cannot believe that. We got lucky on that one. Really lucky. So 3 Armigers with Zephyr Sniper, and then we have Terrell doing the decreased defense. Now, if they ever come out with a rare or an uncommon, they can do a decreased defense on the spider boss that is either spirit or magic. Will be set. We'll be good to go, and it will be much easier to have all rares and uncommons in here. I could take 2 more Armigers up to level 50. No problem. If I took them up to level 50, they would not have the 20% critical damage that we have on his mastery right now. I don't think I showed you his mastery. Let's go back over to that, and then we'll call this video done. And let me know. Tell me in the comments below, what do you think about Armiger? How well do you think he is? So I use masteries that I use on my Cold Heart. We went with crit damage. We go down here to take it down, bring it down for 6% additional damage on enemies with higher max HP. We go, since this is the first hit he's doing whenever he fights, it's going to get an additional 8%. Cycle of Violence, we can lower the cooldown maybe. If we get a chance to lower the cooldown, he'll be able to do it again right away. And then I just picked this just because I wanted to get down here to Flawless Execution and get the 20% additional critical damage. Now, if we do them level 50, 2 more level 50, the only thing we'll be missing out is on this. We can come down here, yes, but we won't be able to get the additional critical damage. So, I don't know. We can try it out. Again, it's going to take a lot of coin and gear and me trying to figure out where gear is at over like 80 different champions, moving things around. Very costly, and then it's even going to take me doing Minotaur Masteries and stuff. So I wanted to give him a little bit of extra accuracy for skill 1. I also want this, even though he does have skill 1 that brings down the turn meter, I wanted to bring it down even further. And I don't think this is going to affect his skill 1, but I wanted to get it anyways, just in case it might affect his skill 1 to have a higher chance to bring down the turn meter, just in case. Otherwise, we could have come in here and gotten things that, you know, decrease... increase our turn meters, counterattack chance if we take damage, increase the turn meter if other people take crits, which is actually pretty good, are things we could have come down in the defensive tree and gotten. But I would always go the offense to get him this, and then whatever else you want to pick on here is fine for ARMIGER. So please let me know in the comments, how do you feel about this uncommon defense champion? Do you think he holds up to what he's supposed to be doing on a 2-turn cooldown? Are you excited about him? Do you think he's pretty cool or not? But that's all I've got. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you all in a video soon.